If you liked the video, feel free to subscribe. We have battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content every week. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. This is episode 5 of Adeptus Custodes, What's Winning Right Now. This week we have an All Infantry Shield Host list. This list was played by Nate Waite, going 5-0 to win the Grim Dice 2K ITC. We will take a look at the list, then the path to victory with a quick breakdown of the units and how the Shield Host detachment can benefit these units. So let's take a look at Nate's list. Nate had a Shield Host detachment list and it came to 2,000 points. His Warlord was a Blade Champion with the Auric Mantle enhancement to give that Blade Champion 2 extra wounds. He had 2 other Blade Champions in his list. One had the Panoptic Specs enhancement so his unit can ignore cover with his ranged attacks. The other Blade Champion had no enhancements. For his battle line, he had a unit of 5 Custodian Guard, 4 of the Spears, and 1 of them with the Vexilla, Misericordia, and their Presidium Shield. For the other units, he had 3 units of 5 Custodian Wardens with Guardian Spears and a Vexilla, 2 units of 3 Venatari with the Venatari Lances, and then 3 units of 4 Witchseekers. For his allied units, he had Inquisitor Draxus to join up with that Custodian Guard unit, and a Callidus Assassin. And this list came to 2,000 points. Let's take a look at his path to victory, then we'll move on to the unit breakdown. And this was at the Grim Dice 40K 2K ITC tournament on February 22nd and 23rd, 2025. Game 1 was against the Sisters of Battle, and that was a 92-71 win. Game 2 was against the Space Marines, which was an 89-45 win. Game 3 and his strongest win was against the Orcs, and that was a 96-31 win. Game 4 was against the Eldari, 82-55 win. And then finally, Game 5 to win the tournament was against the Imperial Knights, and that was a 97-67 win. Congratulations once again, Nate, for a Shield Host win. Let's start the unit breakdown with the 3 Blade Champions and Warden units. One of the Blade Champions has the Panoptic Specs enhancement for the unit he's attached to ignore cover with the ranged attacks. Another one of the Blade Champions has the Auric Mantle enhancement to give the Blade Champion 2 extra wounds, taking it to a total of 8 wounds. The last Blade Champion has no enhancements. All 3 are being joined by a 5-man unit of Custodian Wardens with the Guardian Spears. The Wardens have that 2+ save with a 4+ invulnerable and 3 wounds per model. Both of the abilities increase the survivability of the unit. A once per game, 4+ feel no pain and -1 to the wound roll if the incoming strength is higher than the Warden's toughness 6. 3 units of Wardens is very hard to shift off primary. The 4+ feel no pain can have 1 Warden unit tank an entire round of shooting, let alone having 3 of these on the board. The Shield Host detachment rule, Martial Mastery, extra AP 1 or crits on 5s allows these 3 Warden units to hit much harder than any other detachment. They have the Guardian Spears profile with 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 7, AP 2, damage 2, but with no reroll the wounds. That extra AP 1 brings the Blade Champion's AP 3 profile up to AP 4. So it'll be 5 attacks, strength 6, AP 4, damage 3. For the stratagems for the Shield Host, Arcane Genetic Alchemy for 1 CP. This is the best stratagem in the detachment against any list that does have some mortal wounds output, and it can also be used on stratagems like grenades or tank shock. Multi-potentiality for 1 CP is our fallback shoot and charge stratagem. 1 CP for how hard the Custodians hit is an amazing stratagem. It can be used to disengage from a target and then charge back in or even charge a whole different unit. Last, on Wavering Sentinels for 1 CP, -1 to the hit roll of incoming melee attacks. Add that to the Warden's already hard to kill profile. -1 to the hit roll adds even more survivability. They do need to be on objective under the control of the Custodes to use this stratagem though. Next up is Draxus with the 5 Custodian Guard. This is the best anti-infantry shooting combination we have access to. The Bikes and the Alaris with the Panoptic Specs enhanced leader gives it a good run for its money though. Draxus range attacks pair very well with the Custodian Guard's abilities. The Custodian Guard's ability, Stand Vigil, allows the unit to reroll wounds of 1 or reroll the wound roll if they're on objective they control. And their second ability, Sentinel Storm, gives the unit a once per game shoot twice ability. And let's take a quick look at Draxus's weapons. Draxus does have 2 ranged attacks, and she can use both of them since one of them is a gun and one of them is a psychic ability. Both of these attacks have an 18-inch range, so Dirge Singer has 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 4, AP 0, damage 2, but it has anti-infantry 4 with devastating wounds. And then Psychic Tempest has sustained hits 2, 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, strength 6, AP 0, damage 2. Then when you add the Custodian Guard's abilities to these ranged weapons, you can see where the power comes from. So you're re-rolling your wound rolls, fishing for anti-infantry 4 to get those devastating wounds. Even re-rolling the wound roll with the Psychic Tempest ability, you can crank out a lot of damage into infantry with this unit. Draxus herself has a few abilities. One of them is in the command phase, you roll a d6. On a 1, your unit does suffer d3 mortal wounds, but on a 2+ until the start of your next command phase, this Psyker's unit cannot be selected by ranged attacks unless they are within 18 inches. So it gives that Custodian Guard unit an 18-inch lone-op ability. The shield host stratagems for this unit, you have Arcane Genetic Alchemy. This will be great on any of our units who do need a 4+ Funeral Pain to mortal wounds. Then we have Archaeotech Munitions, and this is the best unit in the list for this stratagem. You can select either Sustain Hits 1 or Lethal Hits. We select Sustain Hits to try to get some more shots from that Dirge Singer ranged gun to fish for some more devastating wounds. This is until the end of the phase, meaning we would still have sustained hits or lethal hits if we use the Sentinel Storm to shoot twice that phase. Finally, Vigilance Eternal for 1 CP. This is used in the movement phase and battle line only, so the Custodian Guard are our only battle line. They can stick to the objective for 1 CP. Next up is the 2 units of 3 Venatari, and let's take a quick look at the Venatari datasheet. They have a movement of 10, toughness of 6, 2+ save with a 4+ invulnerable, 3 wounds, 6 leadership, and an OC of 2. And this unit has the Venatari Lances. It's the same profile as the Guardian Spear when you're shooting, 24-inch range, 2 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 4, AP 1, damage 2. And then the melee attack is the same as the Guardian Spear with 5 attacks, hitting on 2s, strength 7, AP 2, damage 2, but it has the Lance keyword, so when you charge with this unit, it is also +1 to the wound roll. The abilities Strike from the Skies. This unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it fell back. And then Swooping Dive. Once per battle, you can target this unit with the Rapid Ingress stratagem for 0 CP, and can do so even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem this phase. The Swooping Dive ability gives us a lot of options for this unit. Free Rapid Ingress is strong, even more so when we can use it twice per turn. All lances in these units give both units 15 attacks with the Venatari Lances that have +1 to the wound roll when they charge. Movement of 10 while being infantry makes these sneaky fast. With that movement of 10, they can rapid ingress further away if they need to stay out of line of sight. The Martial Mastery Detachment rule brings the Lances up to AP 3 or crits on 5s with sustained hits or lethal hits from the Army rule. Even just 3 of these in a unit are deadly. And this is not a very CP hungry unit. They have free rapid ingress and fallback, shoot and charge built right into the datasheet. Arcane Genetic Alchemy is great for mortal wounds protection. These Venatari are very good at stealing objectives from the opponents, especially their home objective. Next, Nate did take 3 units of 4 Witchseekers, 1 to hold the home objective if able. The other 2 can scout 6 inches and be ready to grab objectives or do some secondary actions for some early turn scoring. By the looks of the scoring for Nate's games, the Callidus Assassin and these Witchseekers did some great work on the secondary scoring. No real stratagem support in this detachment. Most, if not all of the stratagems, are restricted to non-Psychona models. Last up in Nate's list was the Callidus Assassin, the best lone op we have access to for scoring points. Great for draining CP and ruining the opponent's plan with her 12-inch aura of add 1 to the CP cost of enemy stratagems. Her ability that allows her to put her into reserves at the end of the enemy turn, along with the Deep Strike ability, is what makes her so great for secondary scoring. This is also a unit that will have a target on its back all game though. The opponent will want to kill this as soon as possible. That's the unit breakdown for Nate's list. Let's move on to a general game plan. Let's go over a quick game plan of what this list can do. And this list has a simple but effective game plan. Grab the objectives and never let them go. Get these Wardens onto the objectives, use the Venatari and the Custodian Guard to take out the enemy scoring units. The Venatari are a fantastic ambush unit. The detachment rule Martial Mastery gives the list scary melee. No anti-tank shooting in the list at all though. Deploy this list in line of sight cover, advance the Wardens from cover to cover until we can either hold the objectives or a tempting advance and charge target is available. Use the Venatari to steal the enemy home or expansion objectives. No anti-tank shooting at all. Unit placement and being aware of how far the enemy can move and shoot will be key. Hold the primary with the Wardens, disrupt the enemy primary while scoring secondary points to the Assassin and Venatari if need be. Let's finish the video with some final thoughts. Another Shield Host tournament win with another totally different list than the Steven Box's Jet Bike Heavy list. It seems 3 out of our 5 detachments can win a GT, which is great to see. I myself was an All Infantry player for a long time. I might try an Infantry Heavy list, support it with some Vertus Praetors. Congratulations to Nate once again for the Adeptus Custodes GT win. Subscribe for weekly battle reports, list videos, and other Warhammer 40K content. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by.